Hey besties, so it is definitely that time of year where everyone's talking about how many books that they read in 2024. So I want to talk about the 73 books that I read, and I thought it'd be fun to rank them using underhyped, appropriately hyped, or overhyped, because I feel like a lot of my books were like TikTok books or booktube books that I got recommendations from other people. So it'd be interesting to see, yeah, if they lived up to the hype of what everyone else was saying about them or not. So first we're gonna start with Kingdom of Ash, which I feel like that's appropriately hyped because everyone and their mother raves about it, and it is so good. Like, it is my favorite series for sure. Okay, better than the movies. I'm gonna say that this was, I'm like torn between overhyped and appropriately hyped. It was good. It was just like a basic YA romance though. I'm gonna say appropriately because yeah, I feel like it was good. I did like it. Confident Mind, overhyped for sure. I hated that book. I hated that book, to be quite frank with you. I had to read it for work. My old boss had us all read it and he was raving about it. I didn't get a single thing out of it. It just felt like so many like stories and so much fluff in the book that it could have been condensed down to like 50 pages and I would have got helpful information, whereas I had to read like 300 to get not helpful information. So yeah, overhyped. Okay, Assassin's Blade. I'm gonna say this one's overhyped, but only because, hear me out, I feel like everyone, like, it hurts everyone so deeply, I feel like, when they read it, and it didn't like pain me as much as like the story, but I did also not read it. I read it like, I didn't read it first, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if that like played into it. So I already knew what was gonna happen, so then it didn't like, you know, hit me as much as it's hit other people. So I would actually recommend you read that one first instead of reading it like 3 books into the series, I think, like I did. So okay, Brothers Hawthorne. I'm gonna say appropriately hyped because I feel like everybody said it wasn't needed, to be quite frank. And this series, it like goes on the Inheritance Game series, and I loved the first 3 books in that series, and then they kind of started adding more, and just every single one after, I feel like the consensus has been it wasn't needed, and it wasn't. Sorry if you can hear Chip barking, he's going around. Okay, so now I have Powerless. So happy to put this in overhyped. Oh my gosh, everyone loves it and I just didn't get it. It was too much like Hunger Games for me, so yeah, I didn't love it. And then we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I'm gonna put that in appropriately hyped because it was, I think, a fan fave across the board, and I also did really like it. It was good. There was like one weird part of it, if you know you know, but other than that, it was a good book. And then Tower of Dawn, I'm gonna say that's underhyped because everybody hates that book because it's about kale and people are just so like, I couldn't get through it. I really like I was about to say I really like, oh my gosh, it keeps going out of focus. I was gonna say I really like Kale. I don't really like Kale, but I liked him and it's like love interest in it, and yeah, I liked it actually. And then Empire of Storms, I'm just gonna say is appropriately hyped because I can't actually remember much about that specific book, but I'm just gonna put it in the fact that All Thrown in Glass is amazing. So, and then Divine Rivals, this was so good. I feel like this was a fan fave for sure. Everybody really liked it, so appropriately hyped for that one. And then Christina Lauren's Something Wilder. I don't think I've actually ever seen anybody talk about this, but that might have been because I do feel like it's a bit of an older book and I just got into like this book space this year. I did actually like it. I did actually really like it. Now I'm remembering it, I think. So I'm actually gonna put it in underhyped. And please don't yell at me if you've been in this space for a while and you know that everyone and their mother actually did talk about it forever ago. I just wasn't here for that. Oh my gosh, everything I know about love, I know I did say Dolly Parton. Dolly Alderton. So overhyped. So insanely overhyped. I rated it, I think, a 2-star. I just did not like it at all. I had to listen to it in audiobook to get through it. So overhyped. And then I'm also going to say overhyped for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I know, everyone loves it, but it just didn't do that emotionalness for me that everybody else said it did for them. So overhyped. The Rune Lords. I read this because my bestie, it was his favorite book growing up, so I've never heard anybody talk about this, and I probably won't hear anyone talk about this besides him. So I'm gonna say appropriately hyped. He really liked it. I thought it was an interesting book. It was like an old-timey fantasy book, which was just cool to read that different type of book. Butcher and Blackbird. I'm gonna say that was overhyped. I did like it though, so I would still recommend reading it. Just everybody raved about it, and I don't think it was as good as everybody else was saying, but it was still really good. Okay, Ruthless Vows. I did not like this book that much, and I feel like everybody else that read it didn't really like it either though, so I think it's appropriately hyped, but just know it wasn't that great. What You Wish For by Catherine Center. I'm gonna say that is overhyped because I feel like people speak good about Catherine Center's, but her books that I've read I just haven't like loved, so I'm gonna say that one's overhyped. When God Was a Woman, overhyped. I saw this on TikTok and it was like books that you should read if you're a Christian and you're like, you know, want to learn more about it. And obviously from the title it's a bit like it's just a bit like woke energy, and you know, I'm not like super, you know, like traditional, but it was a bit just like, it was kind of cool, but I couldn't tell like how much of it was actually historical facts and how much of it was just her opinion and such. So I'll say it was overhyped literally just because I got it from the one TikTok and then didn't love it that much. Apples Never Fall. So overhyped. This was actually then also made into a TV show on Netflix, which is crazy because it just felt like it was such a slow plot line. It was a mystery, so I was really excited to like, you know, figure out what happened, and it just took so long to get there. 7 Year Slip. Okay, I wish I could put this in both appropriately hyped and overhyped because it's like, it is really good, but people like talk about it a bit too much. So I'm gonna say appropriately hyped because like it was really good and I would recommend reading it. But like, yeah, I haven't really thought about it once again since I read it. Maybe Meant to Be. This was overhyped for me. I did not really like this book that much. It just felt a bit boring for me. I also can't really remember much about it, so that's always a bad sign. Checkmate. I'm gonna say underhyped. I never see anyone raving about this, but this was the first Ali Hazelwood book I read it in one day, rated it 5 stars. It was just really cute for me. I love chess, I think, and it just, I don't like playing it that much just because I don't know how to play it that much like that well, but I love the Queen's Gambit, and this was like, it gave me a little bit of that Queen's Gambit energy. So yeah, I liked it. Like, I hate to want to put Abby Jimenez in overhyped, but like I'm gonna have to. It was good, don't get me wrong. It was good. It was good. So do I move it? I feel bad. I'm moving it because it was good. It was good. Okay. The Betrothed by Kira Cass. I'm gonna put this in underhyped because, okay, this was such a random pick because some random man gave it to me at a soccer game. So I'd never heard anybody talk about it, and it was actually really good until the end. The end, didn't like it, and thankfully it's 2-part, but I'm not reading the second part. So literally up until the end, like the last 2 chapters, I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually really good. I'm really liking it. So yeah, underhyped because I've never heard anyone talk about it. Powerful. I am actually gonna say this was underhyped because, as I said, I didn't really love Powerless, but I really liked Powerful, and then same with Reckless. I thought they would definitely got better than the first one to me, but I felt like a lot of other people said the opposite, that they didn't really love the novella, and then they felt like Reckless was a bit of a filler book. But I liked it, so I'm gonna say that it was underhyped. I'm gonna say it was appropriately hyped because like I feel like I've only heard good things about it, and like it was good. Just again, I haven't thought about it since reading it. So Heartless Hunter. I'm gonna say this was overhyped because I did really like it, but not to like the like 5-star level that everybody else does. I think I would like rate it like a 4-star. So that feels good. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I genuinely don't remember it. I hate to say it. So I'm just gonna put it in appropriately hyped because that just feels right in my soul. I'm gonna say this is appropriately hyped, but because everybody raves about it and it was really good. Everyone was raving about it for a reason. Beach Read. I'm gonna say this is overhyped. I hate to say it, but just Emily Henry as a whole, it's just a little overhyped for me. I don't get the like mass crazy appeal about it. I think they were good romance books, but nothing I'd be like, oh my gosh, you have to read this. I hate to say. Okay, One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I actually can't remember what this one was about. I literally can't remember reading this. So I'm gonna say appropriately hyped. Actually, I'm gonna say underhyped because I do actually remember liking all the Taylor Jenkins Reid books I've read, but I never hear anyone talking about her. at least recently, maybe, again, maybe this is something that they did when they first came out. It was probably really popular when they first came out, but I just haven't heard people talk about them since. And I really liked all 3 of her books that I read. So, Light Lark, oh my gosh, overhyped. This whole series was not, I was not a fan. Yeah, let's get the whole Sky Shade. Where is, there's one more. Oh yeah, there is Nightbane, but it's not showing up here. I must have forgot to take the picture. So just know that would also go in overhyped. I think the series was okay. It was okay, but I definitely wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the best series. It was, no, it did feel flat. The Winds Are Not. This was random. I got it in like a blind date with a book that I bought from a bookstore. And I've never heard anybody talk about it. But it was actually cute, so I'm going to say underhyped because, yeah, I've never heard anyone talk about the author. But it was a cute, like, British mystery kind of book. That was fun. Heartless by Elsie Silver. This whole Chestnut Springs series, love it. Let's see. There's, okay, Powerless, and for sure, sorry, I'm just skipping ahead. Powerless is for sure underhyped, so we're gonna put that, oh, hello, hold on, let me put it up here, put that in underhyped, because that one is one I feel like everyone says they, like, it's their least favorite book, and I've heard people even skip it. That was my favorite. I love Jasper. He was my favorite guy out of the, like, series so far. So I was really excited for that. So that was underhyped for sure. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I'm gonna say Heartless is appropriately hyped because I feel like everyone raves about the Chestnut Springs series for a good reason. It is really good. Grandest Games. This is a toughie because it. Actually, I'm gonna say underhyped because I feel like the people that I did hear talk about it either DNF'd it or said that they like weren't gonna continue the series. I liked The Grandest Game more than the, like, Brothers Hawthorne and then that Games Untold, which I think is up here too. Yeah, Games Untold. I'm gonna say that was overhyped. I wish I hadn't read it or bought it. It was a waste of my time. But The Grandest Game I thought was good. Oh my gosh. Firefly Lane, Chris and Hannah. Appropriately hyped, but because everybody loves it. So that was a 6-star read. 6-star read, to be quite frank with you. Flawless, appropriately hyped. Again, that matches like the Heartless. That whole series is just so good. Hello Stranger, overhyped. Did not like it. I feel like everyone was reading it there for a second, and I did not like it at all. This is the year I read ACOTAR. Hell yeah. I loved the whole series as a whole, but there was A Court of Thorns and Roses. This book itself, I'm gonna say it was overhyped because I didn't love that book. And then Silver Flames, loved it, so that can be appropriately hyped because everyone raves about the series. Court of Wings of Ruin, love that. A Court of Frost and Starlight, we're just skipping ahead. I'm gonna say this is underhyped because I feel like a lot of people say that that's just like a filler book or it was just like Christmassy. So yeah, it didn't add a ton to the plot, but I really liked it. I read it at Christmas, so I think that helped too. So yeah, and then A Court of Mist and Fury, so good. So good. Wish I could read the series again for the first time. I'm like, Naomi, you could read the series again. Anyways, Fourth Wing. Like, it's crazy because I want to say it was overhyped, but I did rate it a 5-star. But like, so no, I can't say it was overhyped now. Maybe you also rated it a 5-star like everybody else. So I'm just gonna say appropriately hyped then. LOL. Almost Maine. This was a random book I picked up again because the best friend is from Maine, so I just wanted to read it. Never heard anybody talk about it. And it was okay. It was funny. It was funny. I'm gonna say underhyped because it was funny. I wouldn't say go out and read it because unless you're like, oh my gosh, I love Maine. It was funny to read, and it's also a play. So I was more surprised I'd never heard about the play. So I'm just gonna say it's underhyped because yeah. Mad Honey. I did not like this, so I'm gonna say overhyped because again I felt like I kept seeing it. Maybe it was like some of these random ones like that, Hello Stranger and stuff were like book of the months. So that's why I kept seeing them because they were in people's like sponsored videos and then they actually weren't that good. So T. Love Theoretically by Allie Hazelwood. I feel like this is appropriately hyped because I feel like Allie Hazelwood is loved across the board and that was a really good one. Georgie All Along, underhyped. I've never heard anybody talk about this. It was a romance and it was really cute. I really liked it. So if you want a little romance to pick up in the new year, I'd recommend that one. Oh my gosh, Magnolia Parks. Overhyped for sure. Her and also Daisy. Daisy hates? Oh wait, sorry. That's the one I picked up first, was Daisy. Then Magnolia. Both of them so insanely overhyped. Did not get the appeal at all. I think I rated both of them like a 2 and a 3. Sorry, I hate to say it. I wanted to love it so bad. I wanted to love it so bad, but I just literally could not get into it. It felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again, same situations, and they're making bad choices the whole time. And I just didn't get the appeal. I'm sorry. Nothing like the movies. I'm gonna say this was underhyped because, again, I didn't see that many people talking about it. It's a sequel to Better Than the Movies, and then the people that I did see talk about it said they didn't really like it. And I agree that it does feel a lot different than Better Than the Movies. Like, they feel like completely different characters, to be honest with you. But looking at the story, just like Nothing Like the Movies as its own story, I liked it. So, yeah. Okay, Iron Flame. I feel like, I'm gonna say this is actually underhyped because I feel like a lot of people, again, like, they like the series as a whole, but I feel like they said that this one wasn't as good as the first one. But I feel like I remember liking it. Maybe I'm just like rose-colored glasses romanticizing it, but I feel like I remember a little bit liking it. Holiday Romance. This was appropriately hyped, but for good, because like I feel like everybody said it was like a must-read Christmas book, and it actually was so cute. I rated it a 5-star. Loved it. Christmas with the Queen. I'm gonna say this was underhyped because I didn't see anybody. I think I only saw Larry buy it this year. I don't know if she then read it yet, but I hadn't seen anybody else really talk about it, and it was such a good, like, Christmassy cute book, so I really liked that one. The X-Files. I'm gonna say this was overhyped, but only because I got it from Sarah's videos where she rated like 5 stars. Dare I say, I think she even just said she rated it 6 star, like she loved this book, and she relates to the character, like the main girl. That's why she said she really liked it. I just didn't obviously connect with her like that because, you know, everybody has different personalities and different vibes, and yeah, so I thought it was a good book, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, 5 stars. I think I rated like 4. Archer's Voice. This is appropriately hyped, I feel, because I feel like everyone does say it's really good, and it was really good. I did really like it. There were parts about it I didn't like, for sure, but overall, yeah, I really liked it. So this was actually my least favorite Ali Hazelwood book, but I feel like I've seen other people say that too. So I'm gonna say that is appropriately hyped, but not that great. So, The Christmas Bookshop. I've never heard anybody talk about this, and I'm gonna say it was underhyped because I liked it. Kind of. It's one of those Christmas. It's not as good as the other 2 Christmas books that I've said, but it was good. I still liked it. Okay, Caraval. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna say it was overhyped, but I did still really like it. It just wasn't like a 5-star rate for me, which I feel like I'd heard, like, I don't know, I had heard mixed things. So I'm not saying everybody that I'd seen had rated a 5-star. So that's like kind of, that teeters and appropriately hyped and overhyped. But I'm gonna say, like, I did like it. I read it all in one day in a 24-hour challenge you guys are gonna see soon. But yeah, it was okay. Enid Blyton Christmas Stories. This was literally just a random little Christmas stories book that I read of Enid Blyton. Was my favorite author growing up. So I'm gonna say underhyped because I've never heard anybody talk about her. And she's a British author, like kids book author, and she's really cute and good. So yeah. And then Christmas at the Midnight Bookshop. I've never heard anybody talk about this, and for good reason. It was a sequel to the Christmas Bookshop book. It was a drag to get through. Oh my gosh, I had to audiobook that bad boy to get through it. So boring. Chris and Anna the Grey Alone. Oh my gosh. Appropriately, actually, I'm gonna say underhyped because I thought this was like a 5-6 star read. I just love all of her books. They're all so good. And I feel like I've seen people say that this was like, they still really liked it, but they didn't like it as much as like Firefly and The Nightingale. And like I still agree with that statement as well, but I want you guys to read it. So I'm gonna say it's underhyped so that you read it, because all Chris and Hannah books need to be read, to be quite frank with you. And then With Love from Cold War, I'm gonna say this was overhyped, literally only because they made the cover, I feel like, really cute. It was really enticing. And the story itself, it was just like a normal basic romance. It was alright. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. So yeah, we're just gonna put that out there, because in my brain I overhyped it because the cover was really cute. Okay, that's actually like a pretty solid even amount, give or take. Let me know if you agreed with any of my rankings, or if you like strongly disagreed with any. I would love to hear your thoughts. That's what I love about like reading books and the book community and stuff, is that like you know, multiple people can read the same book and have completely opposite opinions about it, and I think that's so cool and so interesting to hear about what everyone's thoughts are on books. So yeah, definitely let me know if you disagree with any, because yeah, it'd be fun to hear. That's the end of the video, guys. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.